Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on before this week's episode just to let you know it's a little bit different than something we usually do. Joel and I had not seen each other for a hot minute and we decided we needed to have a chat, which quickly spiraled into about 45 minutes of Jodi Siva, Katy Perry going to space, and a conclave that is about to happen. Now, because we were in a chit-chatty mood, we also decided we were going to swear a lot. So if you have little ears around you, this might not be the episode for you. We'll be back with regular programming next week, but otherwise, enjoy this catch-up in the break room. Hello, I'm Steph.
And I'm Joel.
And welcome to Framed.
Canvas Cuffs.
And Other Stuffs.
Season 2, baby.
Woo!
We're back. Can you believe it?
Polly ado.
Polly ado. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, Joel.
It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Oh, my goodness. Not in the realm of like
Podcast,
but
For
in
us.
real life.
We haven't seen each other for a hot minute.
So much has happened. It's cold now. Ugh.
Ugh.
Don't talk about the weather, Joel. Don't talk about the weather. Okay.
Yeah, much has happened, not only in our world, but in
The world in general.
We've got a conclave. There's a conclave about to happen.
Oh, my God. That's right.
The Pope is dead. Breaking news. By the time this comes out, the conclave probably has happened and we've got a new Pope.
Yes.
I love it. Let's have a conclave.
Let's have a conclave.
I want to have a conclave. Lock the doors. Tight.
How, with explaining to me like a 5-year-old, and also if it's too long, don't worry about explaining. How do they pick a new Pope?
Okay. I've got all the tea.
Okay.
So, all right. So currently in the world of conclaves, we're in about they mourn the current Pope for about 14 to 20 days.
Yeah.
So in about 14 to 20 days, they'll start the conclave.
Yeah.
What they do is so all of the cardinals will come in. So there's about 135 of them.
Yeah.
They all come in to vote.
Okay, cool.
So what they do is they all come into they vote in the Sistine Chapel and they stay at the Vatican and they lock it down. They're not allowed to have any news, any outside like info. They do that. So they're like in full lockdown until they get a vote.
Yeah.
They just keep voting until someone wins.
Do they have to do a performance?
They're just doing
Marsha Hines, Dicko, and Kyle Sandilands there.
and they're just like, what would he used to say when he was like,
Baby, coming down to the landslide.
no, they just keep voting until it becomes.
And are they all old men?
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot be a woman and become the Pope.
But why are they all old men? Can't there be a young Pope?
Like there's
because they don't
the
have a
young
long
Pope.
span.
Maybe that's why they've got to be. No, so I think you could be, but usually the longer you've been within the church, the more
sway
sway you have.
get.
Yeah. So there's a few pro-gay cardinals. There's a few anti-gay cardinals. I'll send you a video.
I don't know how many votes the pro-gay ones are going to get, TBH, but all for them.
To be fair, the Pope that just died, he was pretty progressive. He had some.
Didn't he call someone the F slur?
Yeah, but I think he was.
I mean, I do after I've had a few wines.
He was very that. He was like,
yeah.
But he was pretty much like, I don't care if you're gay. Just join the church, please.
Yeah.
So I think, but there's some very like anti-gay, anti-abortion.
Well, of course.
He was pro-abortion, I think, or maybe just didn't say anything about it.
Oh, he was a rebel.
Yeah, he was
had
a
a rebel
Pope.
heart.
He was a rebel Pope.
Yeah. I knew nothing about the Pope. I know nothing about Catholicism. It's not my favorite topic. Not my religion in general is not my favorite thing to discuss. I do find it fascinating, but I know almost nothing.
Well,
the amount that I learnt just by seeing Jesus Christ Superstar, I was like, this is what happened.
Yeah, so
lots of singing.
So they were all singing this whole time, right? Well, the Nostradamus, the guy who did
with the Hunchback.
With the the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Nostradamus, who did all the predictions of the world like 1,000 years ago. He predicted that the Pope that is elected this time will be the last Pope in line. There'll be no more popes.
He was predicting stuff that'll happen in 2025. Nostradamus,
come on now. The thing is with Nostradamus, because it was so long ago.
Katy Perry will go to space.
That is next on my agenda of things to talk about this morning.
Oh, we got to get through them.
Yeah.
There's so much that has happened.
There is so much. So yeah, Conclave, it's happening.
Okay.
Can't wait to watch.
Wait to see who makes it.
Yeah, there is a funny video by this guy who does all these, we'll put his name up here, but he did like a Real Housewives video about the conclave and each of the cardinals, and it's so funny.
I just hope they vote for, like, I know they're all, old men, but let's not vote. Let's not vote like, a Pope who's like 87. Let's maybe reel it back a couple of years so we've got a bit more time with them.
I think we're getting an old Pope.
So they're a bit more of like sound mind, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
if you're living in Vatican City.
Also, if you're coming to us live from the Vatican, we just see one single thing pop up. We're like, someone's listening. I think also when you become Pope, you get to choose your Pope name. So you get to choose you get to choose what name you want to be called.
So you can be Pope, whoever.
Yeah.
But it has to be
I think it's usually a saint or something like that. Yeah. You usually align yourself with the upper saints and things. But yeah, you get to choose your. And there is an Italian cardinal named Pizzabola.
No.
Yes. Pizzabola.
What?
Pope Pizzabola.
This is wacky. We're going to have to talk about this another time. Like there's too much to unpack there.
I'll do a
full... Pope Pizzabola. Cardinal Pizzabola. Yeah. As a joke?
We love to see it.
Okay.
It's not a joke.
But also like final thoughts on the Pope.
On the Pope.
Terrible, like very sad. A lot of people are,
grieving.
Catholicism is a massive thing. My immediate thought was just like, he'd be mad excited because he now gets to see,
Oh, no. What have we done?
We've upset the higher powers.
This whole episode just goes like, the audio doesn't work, the video doesn't work because we're just like...
You're wearing a shirt that says Demon
Daddy talking about the Pope.
But he now gets to, see what he's been talking about for all these years.
Yeah, he gets to meet his higher power.
Yeah.
He gets to meet God.
Yeah.
And see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And also it's the Jubilee. So he died near Easter.
He died on Easter Monday. What a stunt queen.
What a stunt. And then there's a Jubilee over there now, so they're all doing like heaps of things. And so they're going to get 2 popes in 1 year for the Jubilee of popedom.
Wow.
Really just a time for them. And then Conclave's coming on streaming services soon. It's all
happening. It's all happening.
The Conclave.
Yes.
Can't wait to report back in a few weeks who it is. I'm going to say they're going to choose Pope. It's going to be Pope Stephen.
Yep. I think it'll be Pope Sure.
Perfect.
Yep.
Whoa.
Holy moly.
Oh, that would be amazing. Do we want to talk about Katy first or do we want to do recommendation
Let's
first?
quickly go into Katy.
Okay.
Just very quickly.
Because we did do a whole episode on her.
She's a very big part of this podcast. Some would say she's the third host.
Some would say.
Some would say that.
Yep.
Like I've said before, I'm a very big Katy Perry fan. However, my poor girl keeps misfiring at all angles, I'm really feeling bad for her because she just can't get it right.
She cannot get
she
it
can't
right.
Get anything right. Oh my God, I feel bad for her.
So let's start.
She's so corny.
She's so bad. So let's start with her going to space.
Yes.
So she went.
Yeah.
She went with Gayle King.
Yep.
Gayle, if you see the video, she was not having
Gayle King was not having it. This is obviously old news by now. Like Katy Perry went to space like ages ago now. Everyone's seen the memes and all floating around with the flower. And
oh my gosh.
Gayle King ringing the bell looking like she wanted to be anywhere else but going on to a spaceship.
Oh God. She kept saying like, I don't think I should go. Everyone's like, don't go, Gayle.
No.
But she went.
Yeah, so she went to space. She spent a lot of the time up there, in front of the camera while the whole Earth is behind her.
We'll put the clip up here. She's holding a daisy.
She's holding a daisy. She put her lifetimes to a set list up in front of the camera.
I was like, no.
I'm just like, turn around, Katy.
Turn
like this
around.
is a once in a life. Like you can see
the Earth. Look out the window.
She's like doing a beauty blog.
She's like, hey guys, what's in my bag?
Yeah.
Also, like,
at one point they were like, someone was looking, I think it was probably one of the two women who were like actually like scientists.
Yeah.
One of the two women, they were like, look at the moon, look out. And Katie was like, oh my goddess. And I was like,
She
shut
said,
up.
oh my goddess.
Yeah. And I was just like, shut up, stop. And she's just holding that. She's
It's
so
very sweet. She held the daisy to, in years to come, her daughter will be old enough to understand the magnitude of what her mother is.
Yeah.
And be able to see like, oh, she's saying hi to me from space.
But also,
Cool.
when she came back, she was like, trying to explain why she took the daisy. And I was like, just say it represents your daughter and move on.
Yeah, your daughter's a daisy. Your daughter is
Daisy. Like, oh God.
Yeah, when she got back, she was obviously trying to sound very profound and stuff like that, but she might have had a bit of the, space brain and just couldn't articulate.
She couldn't.
It was a lot of like roundabout talking, trying to sound quite like profound. It just
When she says, I'll play it, we'll put an actual proper version on this. But when she was talking, like the amount of like gobbledygook, it's like she was like on an adrenaline high. They should have given her
they needed to give them all like maybe a day to take in what they saw.
This is
You're officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give and how loved you are until the day you launch.
You're officially an astronaut.
That's me trying to explain anything after like a long flight. I'm just like
She was in space for 11 minutes, got down, kissed the ground.
I know.
It was not good.
She's just a bit of a show pony. Look, yes. I can't say that I would do. I might be a massive cornball if I went to space and came back. I'd probably be, doing all this and that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, she's just done so many corny things all at once, all together.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Katie.
Also, like the timing was bad. Like we're about to be in a global recession, really.
Yeah.
So it's like
the whole thing didn't make a whole bunch of sense to me.
So I kind of started to look into it and I was like, okay, what does this mean? So really it wasn't for us as like the common man.
Yeah.
This was a marketing ploy specifically for people, I think the rich people, to invest in what Bezos is doing.
Yeah.
Because there's no money at the moment. So he's trying to get people to invest in his space programs because there's no money going into like doing this stuff like this. So he's getting the rich to be like, oh, I'd like to do that. I'll invest all my money with you so that I have the opportunity to do
So
that.
are these things like going to become like people are going to be able to do these?
Hypothetically, it gets people excited to invest in space.
One of them's going to go wrong.
Oh, yeah. Like, did we see the submarine? There's going to be, yeah. So I think it's more so like it gets more money into funding things like that. And Bezos wants the money. So that's why he'll do stuff like this. It just so happens that for the common everyday person, this is so bad because we are.
I think the timing of it all also like, didn't help.
Let them eat cake kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Then she came back and now there's footage of her performing her first few concerts.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No. Look.
You love her, but
there's AI imagery on the screens in the back. She's doing Woman's World dancing with all male backup dancers.
She's fighting aliens with lightsabers, but also dance. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I get if you're not a great dancer, I'm not. I can't dance.
No, I can't dance. I can't sing.
Well, you can dance, but that's okay.
Oh, I can kind of dance.
You can dance now.
I can kind of dance.
You can dance.
Forgot I do that.
I can't dance, but at least, and you know what, Lady Gaga, she's learned how to dance. She puts her whole pussy into that.
Yeah,
her dancing.
Yeah,
she put her whole energy in every performance.
Mm-hmm.
Katy Perry is my aunt on a dance floor.
She was sick. She had the flu in her first couple of things. Not to mention now the whole world is like kind of, criticizing her for it and whatever. I don't know if I was Katy Perry, like if I could get up and do another concert knowing that, I'm being panned essentially by the entire world. Like it's got to be really, I do feel for her.
Yeah. I don't like. This is the thing.
She makes a lot of mistakes and she does a lot of misfires, and I don't know what her thought process, or even if she had much involvement with like, you know, what's going to be projected on the screens, because, you know, you shouldn't be using AI art in any of your media for your concerts, because you need to be, you hire artists to do specific things and people who work hard on these things. It seems very slapdash. But then just little things like, I don't know why it was a good idea for her to be like, oh, woman's world, all male dancers, or if she even thought about that.
Yeah.
I think she just needs a team around her that thinks a little bit harder before they make decisions.
Yeah.
Because I really feel for her.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's a bad person.
No.
I just think that whoever her team is currently
Yeah.
is making some weird decisions.
Yeah.
Or she's saying to her
No,
team,
work with Dr. Luke. It'll be fine. No one will care.
and it's like someone needs to say no to her, and she's clearly got no one who's saying no.
Yeah.
Or saying, maybe we think about this for a second.
Yeah.
And I think when you're that famous, you need people who are good at PR, very good at like
Yeah.
thinking about, okay, if we do this, what's the next thing that will come from this?
Yeah. I hope she, you know, pushes on and finishes the tour.
Oh, well, she's got about
all of that.
17 shows in Adelaide, so she better.
She'll be well received here.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
And you know what? If I went to her show, I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'd have
same.
a dance, you know, but it's just so all of these things happened at once.
I
and,
know.
You know,
There's been a lot of Katy
There's been a lot.
happening.
So what are you recommending
Well,
this week, Joel?
I don't know if should we go straight into it, or should I do have a recommendation?
All right, recommend
I'll talk
it.
about it really quickly. On our TV, basically for the past 4 days straight, we found a channel that shows nothing but America's Next Top Model.
Amazing.
And it is the most like cringy, kind of really aged badly reality show that I think I've seen
Oh my God.
ever.
Yes.
Um,
There's a bit of blackface kind of vibes
there
in it,
is.
isn't it?
Oh, I want to talk about so many things. I remember it like it was one of my favorite shows back in the day. But at the time when you're watching it, you don't understand how problematic it actually is. There are a lot of like good episodes where the, you know, photo shoots are quite like really well done and all of that. But then every now and again, Tyra gets a little idea to do something that's quite risque, including race swapping some of the contestants.
Yep.
There was one of the contestants in the series that we were watching. Her whole look, she's just freshly 18, and Tyra really tries to make her like a baby girl.
Oh.
So they put her in like pigtails
Yeah.
and all that, and they're like, "That's what men want to see. They want to see the baby girl. They think that's sexy, and all that kind of stuff." So when we have a sexy shoot, just pretend to be a baby. And it's like
She's like sucking her thumb.
it's like, oh my God, Tyra. Also, she wants her to be this like demure baby, innocent,
Demure baby.
like this innocent baby kind of model. But then the challenge is, oh, you're going to be in a bikini and we're going to pour maple syrup all over you because we're in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you meant to not be sexy in a photo shoot like that? And then she gets critiqued for being too sexy. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want from this sexy baby? Tyra.
Cuckoo gaga.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a lot of problematic episodes. There was in one of the series, there is a trans woman competing. One of the contestants really does not fly with that particular contestant being trans, and they show it all. And it's all very like, ugh.
Yeah.
This probably should have been wiped from the
episode. It wouldn't air now.
No, absolutely not.
Or if it did, there'd be a lot.
Quite a bit of like, you know, quite a bit of racism and
also like fat phobia, like no
lots of fat phobia. Oh my God.
no one can be above a size 6 because you are obese.
No, but then when they started getting plus size models in, they weren't really plus size.
They were a size maybe 14 max.
Yeah. And
Not
then
even.
the one plus size model that they had in one of the later seasons that I was watching, like she was quite curvy. She was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But she had a rotten attitude and she was really angry, and that's all they focused on.
Yeah. They always cut the girl who's obsessed with it, like the good Christian girl's hair off and give her a pixie cut, and she's always crying. I used to
The makeovers.
The makeovers.
Oh, was so good.
And they just went, which one's going to break the most? her
Yeah.
pixie cut for you. It's like, oh, you are obsessed with your blonde hair, brunette now.
Yes. Oh, you've got quite masculine features. Now we're going to give you a masculine haircut.
Yes. Oh dear.
But then again, like it was quite imperative back when I was doing photography because a lot of the photo shoots were really well done. Like they were like just classic, you know, Vogue inspired like model shots. Some of them were really bad, but like, you know.
It's, you know, when I remember when they made them do the runway down the building.
Yes.
They were like, all right, guys, you're going to do
What's this practicing for? Like, you'll never be in that scenario.
You're going to do this runway, but but the runway starts on the top of a building. And you're like, what? Oh, dear. And when she does the fake fainting, does she do the fake?
I haven't seen that episode play out, but I know that Tyra's like, you know, chatting to all the girls and then she like has a pretend seizure in front of them to see what they'll do. She's like foaming at the mouth.
And it's just like, you're all going to. And then they do their overseas trip and everyone's like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yes.
Have you got to We Were Rooting for You? We were all rooting for you.
No, I haven't seen that yet. I'm
it's
excited to watch that.
coming.
I'm excited to watch that season.
Love that you've been watching it. You know what? Sometimes we can just watch things and just go,
Oh, Kenzu kisses. Kenzu's very lovey-dovey today.
like you can watch, because we watch.
It's very addictive and it's very easy to watch.
Like we watched Drop Dead Gorgeous the other day again, and I hadn't seen it in so long, and I just went,
Swan ate my baby.
and just the beer can attached to the arm the whole time. She's always drinking from it.
Oh God, that's a recommendation. If you haven't seen it, please watch the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous with Kirsten Dunst.
Trigger warning, there are some jokes they can't make anymore.
But it's so,
so
funny. And Denise Richards and Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
R.I.P.
Oh, but yeah, so it's like you can watch these things and just be like, you know what? It's a product of the time.
It's a product of the time.
We can,
and it is interesting seeing how like God, like early 2000s really didn't really have an identity. It was very a mishmash of so many different things.
Yeah,
and a lot of like more is more.
Yes, and we're just pushing the boundaries to see how far we can break these people on TV.
Yes.
I think that was the time, like early thousands. It was all about, what can we get people to do on TV? Because I feel like reality
and social media didn't exist, so they wouldn't hear a lot of the
noise that they hear now.
Yeah.
And now everything's very produced and very
people are scared.
Yeah, and so when you do get like a quote unquote villain on Drag Race, like something like that, they're all very edited now. Whereas
we're not going to see the Fifi O'Haras ever again.
Nah. Whereas back in the day, it was so it's like that was kind of what was happening. Big Brother like was coming into the sphere. People were doing, fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
And we survived that, but it's fun to look back and go.
So if you've got 10 Play, there is a channel that literally just plays Top Model episode after episode after episode, nonstop, 24 hours a day. So
thank you, 10 Play.
Yeah, it's like having Ozstar. It's fun.
Yeah, I like that.
And then there's little ad breaks in it, and you
get to see all the election.
Yeah, all the election
ads.
crap. All right.
That's this week's episode. I'll quickly recommend another podcast. It's called Good Hang with Amy Poehler, and it's just her.
Yes.
It is just a really fun. She's just hanging out with her friends.
It's a good hang.
It's a good hang, and she's hanging out with her friends, and I just love listening.
She had Tina Fey on it.
She had Tina Fey, Martin Short, Rashida Jones, like all of her. I guess people that I go, I think you actually hang out with these people.
Yeah.
And she just sounds
Catherine Hahn, I think, was on one of the episodes.
And it's just one of those things. Ike Barra, what's his name? Barra Holtz or whatever. A person who always plays a dick in so many films, and I like listen to it and I'm like, I think
he's so sweet.
Person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a really good hang. And if you need something just calm and comforting and funny, just to laugh along, giggle,
cleaning the house on a
just
Sunday.
Like cleaning your house after you listen to us, go listen to her. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Good hang. Amy
Does
Poehler.
anyone shout out? Let us know if you listen to us while you're like, doing chores or like, how do you listen to our podcast?
Yeah.
Are we on in your car? Are we on while you're at work? Are we on, while you're tidying up around the house?
Yeah.
And,
Are you driving? Are you where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you? Are you okay? What are you doing right now? Tell us everything.
Tell us everything. Yell. Just yell into the
If
void.
you are in immediate danger, please call someone.
Please
though.
call someone.
We're not
Don't call us. This isn't
Just
live.
On the review,
Help me.
I want someone to write a review just like, I'm stuck down a well. Please help.
What are we talking about today, Steph? You haven't picked up your notes yet.
All right.
This is just a hang.
This is just, you know what?
This
We're
is
having
just
a
a
good
hang.
hang.
Yeah, we haven't caught up in ages.
I know. All right. We're really banging in some pop culture into this episode.
I know, because there's just so much to talk about, and we haven't had a chance to catch up in ages.
haven't.
So this is actually going to be
Just
our catch up.
A catch up episode, and then we'll bring you some more art. Maybe this week, maybe next. We're not sure.
Next, whenever it happens.
Whenever it happens, it happens.
We have to talk about Jodi Siva.
Yes. Miss Jodi Siva in the Big Brother house, Celebrity UK.
Celebrity Big Brother UK. Notorious for being quite like the controversial Big Brother. It's actually very entertaining to watch.
It's so entertaining. Remember when Michelle Visage was in there?
With Perez. Oh my God. If anyone is interested, go back and watch clips of Michelle Visage and Perez Hilton in the Celebrity Big Brother UK house on YouTube.
Yeah.
Perez Hilton was the most, I can't even put it into words. He was so hard to watch because he was so awful.
Oh, you didn't realize how awful he was?
I think you and I were watching that season when we lived together.
Yeah, I think it was around the time we lived together.
Yeah, he was disgusting. He was so obnoxious.
Like, I don't know why I didn't think because of what he was putting on the internet, he wouldn't be a mean person. In my mind, he wasn't as bad as he is.
He was worse.
He was worse than I ever thought he could be.
No, yeah, and the thing is, he made so notorious, right winger, very controversial, opinionated. Katie Hopkins was in the Big Brother house. He made her look good.
Yeah, and like Michelle Visage was friends with her and not Perez.
Yes.
Like, that's the type of person he is.
Yes. Katie Hopkins, if you don't know her, look her up. She
said some terrible things.
She said some terrible things. She's like very, fat phobic.
Yeah, very fat phobic.
Yeah, she has a lot to say about, right-wing things and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, she's kind of notorious for being this controversial figure in the UK. She says it herself. She loves all the hate. She loves all the booze.
Yeah.
She loves all of that kind of stuff. It keeps her going. When Katie Hopkins enters the Big Brother house, she's met with like the live audience who boos her into oblivion. And she loves it. She understands like who she is and why why she gets that reaction.
Yeah.
So she's meant to essentially be the villain of the season, but then in walks in Perez Hilton, just so obnoxious, just full of himself, thinking he is the biggest deal in there.
Yeah.
He said, I can't quote it, but he essentially like tells Michelle that she's not a voice for the LGBT community. And
Perez is a gay man.
Perez is a gay man. But Michelle has done so much more for the queer community.
Yeah.
And she owns him when he says that.
Oh, she is so good. And so she doesn't get angry. I would have yelled at him.
Yeah.
She is so calm with him.
I would have done the thing where I'm like, when I'm really upset and all I can do is breathe in. And I'm like,
Yeah, he's infuriating. He can't see any other point of view.
No. He's just big and loud and gross and he was awful. Perez Hilton, if you're listening to this, I still hate you from that. I hate you. I don't wish you any well.
No.
I think you're a terrible person and all the years you've done like dunking on celebrities back in the day has caught up with you, and I think a lot of people don't remember who you are. And yeah, good riddance to you.
Yeah.
Anywho, there's a new... because I was watching the clips of his recently and it was just boiling up my dislike for him. Just awful, hideous, sulky, just gross, selfish man.
And just like would think he's the most interesting person in the room.
He made Katie Hopkins palatable.
Which is
insane.
It's like if you put him next to Trump, you'd like Trump more. That was the vibe. Like
at the time?
Yeah.
Yes. But also,
right
like,
now, maybe not.
yeah, when Katie Hopkins, you know, came out of the Big Brother house, she still was met with boos, but a lot of people were just like kind of cheering her on for having to put up with Perez Hilton for that long. It was so bizarre to watch. Great TV.
Great TV.
But very exhausting. But now there's the recent series has just wrapped, and you know, there's a lot of it's Celebrity Big Brother, but it's very UK centric. They'll often get like one or two Americans in there. But at the moment, like I didn't know really anyone who was in the house besides I think there's a drag queen from
Danny Beard
from
which
Drag Race
I
UK.
love Danny Beard.
I don't think I watched his season.
Oh, it's really good. You'd enjoy. Yeah, you'd enjoy.
But Jodi Siva is the big you know, the big get for this current season.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who she is, whether you like her or you don't like her. You can't deny that you don't know who Jodi Siva is.
Yeah, she's everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know what? She was a child star who is now transitioning into her adulthood.
She was in Dance Mums.
Yep. And then she had just like the amount of money she has made from her merch and her bows and her bows. Anyone? But yeah, she is a mogul, really.
Yes. Not without controversy herself. She came out, you know, a couple of years ago and then started, you know, releasing music as her because she was a child star. She turned like 20 or 21.
Yeah.
And she did the whole, you know, thing which a lot of child stars do is like, I'm an adult now. I'm going to release sexy music and be sexy, grown, blah, blah, blah. She also came out around this time.
Yep. Then she got dropped from Nickelodeon because she did come out.
Yeah.
So it was all a big...
Which sucks.
Yeah.
But she, you know, released this song called Calm as a Bitch.
I should have known
Just
better.
calm as a bitch. I should have known better. You've probably seen the like...
the film clip.
The film clip or at least her doing that dance, that strange stomping dance.
Yeah.
Also her saying that she invented gay pop, which is completely not true. I think Tegan and Sarah had something to say about that.
Yes, they definitely did a little like, excuse you?
Yeah.
Were you even born in the 90s?
Yeah, I know. Prince, even though he wasn't out, would have been rolling in his grave.
Just like, Ma, anyone. Literally, Elton John's like, pardon?
Yeah.
Let me, pardon? I need to make a call. Yeah, she said some clunky quotes. And you know what? It's because she hasn't grown up around people probably who are, well, she's grown up around the gays, let's be real. But like people who are introducing her to this culture.
Yes.
She doesn't get it. She's a baby.
She is, and she's got that thing where it's kind of like, you know, with Miley Cyrus and all that kind of stuff, they never get to go through their like rebellious teen years because at that time they're still in the like Disney machine and all that kind of stuff, and they're working.
Yeah.
So when they finally turn a certain age, it's a hard pivot into being an adult.
And they've got to go through this cringe era in front of everyone.
Where they tried their hardest to be
cool
or like overly sexual and like all that kind of stuff.
Because they've had to repress it for so long.
Yeah, Britney did it when she released Slave for You and Christina did it when she released Dirty. It's almost like in the lexicon of being a pop star.
Yeah.
Did I say lexicon in the right?
You know what? Let's put it on TikTok. They'll tell us.
They always tell me. Oh my God, I can't believe. So okay, every now and again I say the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
You know what? You're not a fucking thesaurus. You're a person.
You know what I mean? So in one of the episodes, I said something about a Simpsons character being titular, even though it was like a guest character, and someone on TikTok was just like, that is not what titular means. Oh,
well, you know what? You're from but you're from America. Look at your school system.
Yeah, Steph.
Fuck off. Fuck off. So, we're humans. We're not supposed to know every fucking thing. Oh, it makes me so mad when it's the thing that grinds my gears the most. And this is a grinds my gears moment is when people want to correct you on things that like grammar and stuff and they're like, that's not how
it's obviously a slip of the tongue. Like I'm just talking in real time here. Like I don't have
and you know what? I didn't pick up on it.
The word titular just came up into my head.
Yep. And you know what? I liked the word.
Yes.
And I clearly did not even think about it twice because I just put it on the internet.
So, yeah, you know, people, if I say the wrong thing, you know, you can let me know in a nice way, but
also go off in the comments.
But go off in the comments. It's always a bit of fun. Say what you want. We don't care.
You can say what you want about me. I don't mind.
Anywho, Jodi Siva has entered the UK Big Brother house.
Yes.
The series is finished now.
Yeah.
But she had a pretty extraordinary time when she was in there.
Wow, did she have some times?
Mm-hmm.
Run it
Do
through.
you want to go into any
So
of it? Or I feel like I'm doing a lot of the talking.
No, let's go in. Let's go in together. Let's hold out. So for those of you who don't know who else was in the house,
Oh, that's right.
Mickey Rourke
Yeah.
was also in the house, which I hadn't seen Mickey Rourke in a while. She's had some work done.
Yeah. Or like a long time ago, and now it's kind of
all
melted.
kind of melted. You know what? I'm all for getting your facelift,
Yeah.
all for getting it done.
He's a pretty bizarre character.
He was bizarre. They took a real risk putting him in, I think. Like he was their controversial character, because you've got to have people who are going to cause controversy. And I think they knew from his Instagram and stuff that he was going to say some things that were clunky.
So does he have a pretty interesting Instagram?
I think it's more just like you just look at him and go like, you're just saying shit and you're not afraid to say. He does not give two shits what people think of him. And
he was nominated for an Oscar like not even that long ago for
Yeah.
The Wrestler. He
Yep.
was in Sin City, which is one of my favorite films ever.
Love it.
But he was in a lot of prosthetics and stuff for that. But he was excellent in it.
Yeah, and
he was quite the handsome guy back in the day.
yeah.
Don't know what happened in the interim, but
No, he's really taken a turn.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard as well if you have been such a good look. If that's your currency, your body and your because let's be real, his body and his strength and his looks were the things that got him through into Hollywood. If that's your currency in that world and you lose that, you probably go crazy and go, what do I have? So you start putting things in your face and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess we don't know Mickey Rourke's story that well. Other than what we saw on Big Brother, which is, I don't even know why he signed up for this.
Money. I think money.
Yeah.
I think there comes a time where you
Such a
go,
weird get. How did they even think of Mickey Rourke?
someone would have just said, put him on.
Put him on. I follow his Instagram.
He's going to cause something. He's going to
Yeah.
say something and it's going to make good TV. And you know what? Here we are.
Well, he certainly did when he met young Jodi Siva, who, very unlikely duo to ever come into contact with each other.
Yep. And I give JoJo a lot of credit because she did handle it with a bit of grace, more grace than I probably would have had at it as a 21-year-old. So he said some things to her. I don't have the direct quotes. We might put up some video audio. But one of the things he said was, I'm going to turn you. Oh, he kept calling her the lesbian. He didn't say her
I'm
name.
going to get that little lesbian voted out.
Yeah. He said that he was going to one night with him and he'd, turn her straight.
Yep.
And she said, unlikely. And he said, I'll tie you up.
I'll tie you up. Yeah.
And to her credit, she said, I think I'd be the one. Like she made a joke.
Because
Because
she handled it really well.
she just said, I think I'd be the one tying you up. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
And then went off and was so upset because he was, and he said, he said, I really need a fag. And then he turned, did he say, yeah.
Yeah,
he said,
he's like, I need a fag. I'm not talking about you, Jojo. I'm talking about a cigarette. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And obvious, a lot of the housemates, power to them, kind of were like, whoa. You can't say that kind of stuff. And old Mickey Rourke, he's all confused and whatever and doesn't really what?
Yeah. Boomer energy.
Yeah. And so, he kind of walks off. Jodi Siwa's, someone comes over to her, praises her for how she handled herself, but also was just like, are you okay? She bursts into tears. And yeah, I think this was good for JoJo because we're seeing her being her genuine self.
Yeah.
Which is, we've only seen that performative celebrity pretty much.
Yeah.
That's all we've seen. That's all we know of JoJo. So now we're seeing, all the bells and whistles and bows and makeup and all that taken away, and she's actually facing a real life situation where she's facing homophobia and she handles it so well.
And she also said, I didn't realize people thought like that anymore. And I went, oh, you live in such a bubble that you don't think this exists anymore.
Yeah.
Because that was so interesting to me because we all put ourselves in our bubbles regardless of who you're around. You surround yourself with people with like-minded thought and feelings. But I think when you're in the real world a bit more, you see a little bit more of the you know, there is still racism, homophobia, all this stuff.
Yeah.
JoJo is clearly so separated from that. She didn't think people would say stuff like that anymore.
No, because she's got her team around her kind of guarding her from all of that noise from the outside
Also,
world.
people would be afraid to say that to her. Like no one's going to go up and say that to her in real life.
But also, she's gotten a lot. She's gotten a lot of flack for years and years and years. She's probably developed quite a thick skin and knows, you know, these comments and whatever. But this is her facing those kinds of comments in real time, in real life, with someone saying it to her,
like
not just keyboard warriors,
all on camera.
And it just so happened to be Mickey Rourke. Of all people.
And this is all like night 1, night 2.
Yeah, this is like the first
24 hours being in that house.
Yeah. Needless to say, Mickey Rourke got a warning from Big Brother, even though it probably should have been. I think it was enough for a boot, but he did apologize and he had a conversation with JoJo and they kind of hashed it out. He admits that he was wrong for saying it and blah, blah, blah. I'm learning, yada, yada, yada. Cut to a couple of nights later, he says something again that's like, he threatens one of the housemates.
He threatens one of the housemates, which he did do to JoJo by threatening her to tie her up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But this one of the housemates like gives him a side eye or something like that. And Mickey Rourke goes up to him and essentially like, you know, puffs his chest out and tries to intimidate him and calls him a cunt and like all this kind of stuff. And Big Brother's like, you know what?
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
People are in danger now.
Yeah.
You're too erratic in your behavior for us to let this, because if something did happen, Big Brother would have really copped it.
Yeah.
Whereas if they get him out at this point, it's like, all right, we did the right thing.
And Mickey Rourke, he was happy to go.
Yeah.
He was fine.
He's like, I'll take my check. I'll see you later.
But they didn't give him his whole check.
Oh.
So they negotiated a price for him to go there. But obviously in the clause there was like, if you break any of these rules, you know, you're not going to get the full amount because you have to abide by this certain contract.
Yeah.
Apparently he only got like 20% of what he was meant to be paid. So he was like, he's contesting all this now.
I wonder how much you get paid to be on this show.
It depends on who
you are. Yeah.
I reckon JoJo would have been getting paid the most.
Yeah. All right. So then there's more.
There's more. Isn't it funny? I haven't actually watched this season. This is just all I'm getting from clips and things that are online.
Yeah.
And sorry to our listeners, like if you're not interested in this
skip
kind
this
of
episode.
thing, this can be a
But
skip
you know
episode.
what? I think if you're here, you're liking this. I think if you've listened to enough of our episodes, you're here for this.
Yeah, even if you don't know who we're talking about.
You'll appreciate it.
I hope so.
Mickey's out, but at this point, and then JoJo has more. So where does it begin? So she gets upset and she's comforted by a guy
named Chris.
And he is from Love Island.
Yep.
And he is known as a bit of a fuckboy.
Yeah, bit of a, you know, ladies' man, bit of a fuckboy.
A lad. He's a lad. But
he develops this very close relationship with JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite a calming energy for her there. He says all the right things.
Mm-hmm. And at the start, like he defended her with Mickey Rourke and all this stuff. He said stuff to Mickey and she said, thank you so much for doing that.
Yep.
And at the start, it kind of starts out like a bit of like a brother-sister vibe.
Yes. Which goes quickly into a quite a flirty.
Yeah. Flirtatious kind of energy. It kind of goes from being like, I'm going to look after you to like, I'm growing close with you.
That annoying couple in high school that were always like entangled with each other. Like they'd sit at lunch break, but they'd be like kind of folded up, hugging each other constantly.
Yeah. Very will they, won't they? But like are they? But I don't think they are.
Yeah. So they develop this kind of this brother-sister relationship that kind of goes into a bit you know, their beds are next to each other at nighttime. They're whispering to each other. JoJo and Tim start like hugging in bed and spooning, and it all gets it goes pretty quick into more. This is like two people who are kind of crushing hard on each other.
Yeah.
And they start to become almost like a couple in the house. Mind you, JoJo prior to this has said, you know, I'm a lesbian.
Yep. And has a partner on the outside who is
Kath.
Who is an Aussie.
She's Australian. Who would be watching all this being like,
I have and they live together. Jojo moved into an apartment with them in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the typical lesbian U-Haul thing, which,
Yeah.
you know, you do when you're young, right?
Yeah.
If you've got millions of dollars and you can spend it, of course you're going to do stuff like
100%.
that.
But JoJo's been like on talk shows and stuff, being like they want to start a family eventually. Like they were quite deeply in it.
Yeah.
And obviously, like when that whole Mickey Rourke stuff happened, Kath jumps on social media and says she's very proud of JoJo for how she handled it.
I think it might be they.
They.
Mm-hmm.
Kath jumped on to social media and, you know, essentially said that JoJo handled herself really well and all this kind of stuff, very supportive. But then, you know, a couple episodes later, JoJo starts being flirty with Mr. Chris.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're thinking, oh, this is kind of cute. Oh, wait. JoJo's partner will be watching all of this from home.
Yep.
Probably getting a little bit nervous, a little bit annoyed.
Yeah. A little bit like, something sounds not quite right.
Yeah.
And then JoJo says, I might not be lesbian.
So she has, is JoJo she?
Yes.
Okay. She has this growing moment in Big Brother where she's talking to Danny Beard, who's the drag queen. And she kind of comes to terms with the fact that she might identify as queer.
Yeah.
Instead of
Straight
up lesbian.
Straight up lesy.
Yeah. Queer meaning, you know.
You can just run the gamut a bit more.
Yeah.
You run the gamut. I think also queer has become a bit more overarching as well because we've gotten
It's got a lot of things in it.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of the pan, a bit of the whatever. You're just queer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of would be another red flag for poor old Kath.
Kath's sitting at home just like,
what's happening? Oh, no.
Also, like, there's a bit of a time difference, so you'd be probably waking up to
all this news.
You're not living your day out and then getting home. Poor Kath's like, okay, I guess I'm. Also, Kath's doing fun line dancing and stuff. Like, and just like I just feel like it'd just be sad line dancing. Like, a single tear rolling.
Doing sad line dancing.
Yeah, just like
got
poor
my red dress on tonight.
Poor thing. Just so hard to watch.
Yeah, so, you know, the episodes go on and on. Their relationship is getting kind of more and more, you know, intense. Like, you're watching these two people essentially. From my perspective, I'm like, we're watching two people fall in love in real time.
Yep. And we all know that there is someone on the outside and they are not, JoJo is not thinking about that person.
No, because JoJo's in a bubble.
Bubble. Like a literal locked up bubble.
Yes.
You're in prison.
And you feel like you're going to be in there forever.
Yes.
And the outside world doesn't exist. I think that's what happens to people in the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
I think that's part of, you know, what makes the experiment interesting.
Yeah.
People start to get a bit cabin feverish and you know, they think that this is their world now.
Yeah.
JoJo and Chris make it through to the finals.
Yeah.
They get letters from home.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the Big Brother house gets these lovely, quite personal, we miss you, we love you letters from home. JoJo gets one which is essentially like, hey, JoJo, good job. Kath is keen to see you.
Yeah, it was from...
Pretty much that was it.
It was from her mum, right? Was it from her mum? And I think it was just like...
I think that's when it hit JoJo.
That she'd done something wrong. I'm going to find the quote.
Okay.
Whoa. The mum was like, you know, we do miss you. Like, it wasn't as like adoring as probably the others.
Yes.
But you would expect because they were so in love going in.
It just wasn't personable.
Yeah.
It was kind of very stock standard, given they're not in there for that long.
Yeah. Like how long? They're not even in there for 2 weeks?
I think it's... No. It's longer than 2 weeks. I think they're in there for a month.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough. JoJo got Chris to read the letter to her as well, which is... That's rough.
Hard.
Chris read the letter from her mother, which in one part says, the most important thing to tell you is a message from Kath because I know you really miss them the most. Kath's keen to see you when you get out. And that's kind of it.
So that's when I think reality kind of hits JoJo a bit.
Yeah.
And she goes, ooh, I'm about to leave this house.
And
everyone's seen...
Yeah,
you know,
everything. I forgot the cameras existed.
She starts to read into this letter and starts to kind of get a bit of the panics.
Yeah, and goes...
Which I 100% get. I felt for her in that moment. I was just like, ooh, that's got to, because you can't judge unless you were in that scenario. And I feel like if I was in a Big Brother scenario like that, and I would get to that point where I kind of forget everything on the outside because you're so used to this house, this routine.
So then she goes into the diary room and has a spiral and thinks about things and thinks out loud to Big Brother.
Yeah.
And then where does it go after that? That's
pretty much it. And then the show wraps up in a car. I think JoJo came third. She was the third finalist.
Yeah.
Chris was maybe the fourth. JoJo comes out to a round of applause. She's quite surprised that the public have really, likened to her quite a bit. And then they kind of in the reunion, they kind of justify, the way why they were so close. They were each other's rock in the house. And they try and, tone down the whole romantic side of it, Chris and JoJo.
Yeah.
And then this morning we wake up to news, literally this morning.
Literally.
We wake up to news that Kath travelled to the UK to see JoJo for the finale. JoJo, once she got out, she sees Kath. She essentially dumps Kath on the spot.
Yeah, poor Kath. So when everyone came out, when you come out of the Big Brother house, if you've never watched Big Brother before, they bring your friends and family. They're on the sidelines, or you get big hugs. Blah 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 blah. Kath specifically said, "I'm coming over." Yep. But you will not film me. Yep. And I will be on the sidelines. And Kath is someone who has a bit of a following here in Australia, and probably overseas. And has gained more, obviously, because tied to JoJo. Yeah. So as soon as things started going south, disappeared off social media. Yep. Well done, Kath. Best thing you could have done.
Yes, absolutely.
So smart for you to just go, I'm going to step away.
It was decent and respectful of them.
Yeah, it was really just good PR of going, you can all speculate. I'm going to wait until I say anything. Yeah. Because I'm not going to be bitching on here on my TikTok about somebody who's in this house. Yeah. So came out and dropped them like a hot potato.
So now we're eagerly awaiting to see
what happens. I can't wait. Has Kath put anything on the TikTok yet, or is Kath?
Because Kath has done a video.
Oh, shall we play it now?
Explaining the whole thing. I think it's quite long.
Oh, okay. Well, in your own time, let's see how long it is.
Yeah. Mind you, Chris I think he's about 31. JoJo is 21 or 22.
Yeah.
I have the feeling that, once this, confetti falls to the ground after the end of this Big Brother season, everyone kind of starts to forget about it and whatnot. Chris and JoJo will go back to their normal lives.
Yeah.
That's it. And I hope JoJo doesn't think, she's found her Prince Charming and whatever and is going to do all this and that. Because I don't realistically see outside of the house Chris and JoJo becoming a thing.
Yeah, I think it was a situational. Yeah. We're both locked in a cage. Yeah. And we're both
horny for each other.
Yeah, and we're finding comfort in that. Yeah. And good on ya. Yeah. But maybe not when you have a partner on the outside.
Yeah. I guess you don't know how you'd act.
You don't. Honestly, that's what makes Big Brother so watchable, right? Yeah. We watch it because there is an element of, especially there are people in there who are going to clash, just like in the real world. We're watching they're getting people who are it's a micro version of the world. So you're seeing it all unfold there, and this is why we watch it.
If it was flirting to kind of manipulate and get far in the game and become a winner and whatever, I guess that is different. Say if I was in the Big Brother house and obviously I've got a partner on the outside, Lockie, but if there was someone in there that that I could kind of flirt with a little bit, kind of gain their trust, take them to
You're
the
on trainers at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I would consider it like that. And, when $500,000 is on the line, those are the things you do.
Yeah.
But if Lockie was watching me fall in love with someone in real time in that house, my God, and vice versa, that would be tough stuff.
Tough stuff. And also, Like, it's not like JoJo went in thinking, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
This is happening. And maybe if this was on the outside world, JoJo would have called up Kath and gone, hey, babes, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do this now. Like, but
Kath went all the way to the UK.
Kath took a 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
Probably the 17, the direct that we get there now. But like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So
if it was like, look, if they were all playing a game of, you know, spin the bottle in the hot tub or something like that, and your partner, you know, kisses someone, like just fun and games and whatever.
This was falling in love.
But this was falling in love.
Yeah. This was falling into infatuation,
Yes.
at least, at the very
That's
least.
hard to watch.
That's hard to watch and very confronting. And if this was,
and the whole world knows about it.
And you can't
and
talk
the
to
whole
them.
world would be thinking about Kath being like,
this was, remember when on Australian Big Brother, Tully and Drew fell in love and Tully had someone on the outside?
a girl on the outside.
Yep.
Yes.
And it was the same thing, fell in love.
That's right. This did happen.
Yep. This happened in local news many, many years ago.
Tully used to follow me on Instagram and like my stuff all the time back in my modelling days.
Well, you are very beautiful, Joel.
Oh,
Stop it. But yeah, so that happened, went in as lesbian, came out with a boyfriend.
Came out as queer. What happened? Why does that Big Brother house
What does that do?
turn lesbians
You know
queer?
what? That's what the right wing needs to
Yeah.
do. Don't lock us up in
They're
conspiracy.
spraying a gas from the ceiling.
Just put any gays in the Big Brother house, they'll come out straight.
Yeah.
Danny Beard, all
If
of
you
them.
did an all-male gay Big Brother house, they wouldn't be able to show that on TV. The way that would so quickly
It
become...
would be wet on Wellington.
Yeah, the way that would so quickly just become an orgy
Yeah.
on live television.
It couldn't happen. But yeah, so...
Wet on Wellington.
Oh, dear. They need to make that.
If you
Please.
know, you know.
If you know, you know. And if you don't, maybe you should.
Go swim some laps.
Just see how that turns out for you. Just going to go to the sauna. I really need to decompress.
It is a gorgeous pool.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Oh, dear. But yeah, so that's Jodi Siva.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, in pop culture,
What else?
All right, we've got the Katy Perry,
Katy
we've got
Perry,
the Jodi
the
Siva,
Siva,
we've got America's Next Top Model,
And we've got Conclave.
and we've got Conclave. I think we're up to speed.
Yeah, I don't think anything else has happened. And you know what? By the time this episode comes out, there's probably much more.
So much more is going to
But,
happen.
we hope-
we've got the election about to come up.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you vote. This will probably, depending on how we edit, this might come out earlier.
Well, you have to. If you're over 18,
Yep,
you've got to
you've gotta
vote, or else
vote.
you're going to get a nasty little
And
fine.
also make sure look, just to get on my little soapbox, if you don't know who to vote for, there is a thing called Vote Compass. It is many questions that will tell you which party best aligns with who you are. Please, especially as women, and, you know, we didn't have the vote the whole time. So people really the suffragettes fought really hard and did a lot of crazy shit to get the vote for us. Take it seriously.
Yeah.
And
Amen,
not so
sis-
serious that it takes
Amen, sister.
But yeah, we have, and also there are many women in the world who can't vote in certain countries
Yes.
and aren't allowed to. So, you know, I know it's sometimes the lesser of two evils, but you know what? Just read up a
Make
little
your
bit.
voice heard.
Just take it, just Vote Compass. If you're really confused, do the Vote Compass or talk to people around you.
It's a woman's world.
And they're
lucky
lucky to be
living
living.
in.
That's what she wrote this about. This
Yeah,
election.
it's about the Australian election.
Yeah.
Yeah, with 2 male candidates.
Yes. We're never getting a female.
Oh, yes, we will.
Oh, well, we did.
We did. Well, we did.
We did, and we
And she
really,
got kicked out.
we really said,
Fumbled the bag. But no.
We said, not this time,
No.
lady.
No.
But yeah, so go vote. Have a good time. Get
Yeah.
your democracy sausage.
Yes. One of my favorite parts about
Yeah,
that entire
it is.
day.
If you don't want to be talked to by any right-wing candidates, get a always was, always will be clothing the Gap t-shirt.
Oh, I've got one of those.
Yep, wear that as you walk in. The only people who will talk to you are the Greens.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be harassed by all those people handing out pamphlets,
Yep.
always was, always will be.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you want to add, Joel?
No, that was a great little catch-up
Yeah.
episode. We were going to make this like, you know, a proper framed episode, but we haven't seen each other in a few weeks, so we had a lot to catch up on a lot of pop culture.
A lot of pop culture happened.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I know it wasn't a normal one, so...
Oh, we've got the Met Gala coming up too. That'll be an episode, I reckon.
Oh, well, we'll have to talk about
We'll talk about that offline.
Yes.
Have a great week. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Leave us a review. Tell one friend.
I love how you've worked in have a great week.
Have a great week. Every time.
Yeah. Every time. Have a great week.
You know what? Have a great week. It's like very news.
Yeah, it's very news.
News, like, have a great week.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Adjusting our papers on the desk.
Yeah, I hope you do have a great week.
Yes, so do I.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Toodly-doo.
Goodbye.
Back to regular programming next time.
Yes, enjoy.
Enjoy. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.